about selling your home? I'm Jeff Meyer.
I'm Michele Rain with Star One Realty Group. Selling homes in West Pasco for the last 20 years is what we do best. From the beautiful coastline waterfront homes to the 55-plus golf communities, we list and sell them all.
See us on the back page of the Suncoast News every Wednesday.
And the next episode of The American Dream, streaming on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire.
Hi, I'm Jeff Meyer, and welcome to our first episode of Rocking Florida Real Estate.
And I'm Michele Rain. We're both from Star One Realty Group. And Jeff, let's get started on today's show.
First, we're going to go poolside. Michelle's going to have a weekly chat with one of our team members. This week, she chose her favorite realtor, her partner, me. We're going to sit by the pool a little bit and talk for a couple seconds. Then we're going to visit with one of our roadies, Carolyn Cars, who owns Care Title in beautiful Tarpon Springs. We've been doing business with Carolyn for about 14, 15 years. She's going to run us through how title work works. Then we're going to visit with one of our groupies who just had a closing. She's going to take us from beginning of the listing all the way to the closing and show you the check that they got. My favorite part of the show is jamming with Bruce and Michele. Each week, Bruce and Michele go to a concert. And where'd you guys go this week, Michele?
Well, we drove down to Miami and we saw Cheep Trick, and it was a fantastic concert.
And my favorite song with Cheep Trick is Live from Budokan. Michele, did they sing that song?
They did sing that song, and it was just as back in the day when we were in school. Also on that segment, we're going to feature our new listing, so anybody watching today is going to get a sneak peek before it goes on the MLS. Mm-hmm. And also, Jeff, we don't want to forget about how we were chosen to be on The American Dream. The American Dream is a national TV show. It airs on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire Stick. So, Jeff, I think let's start this show with our debut on American Dream.
Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the show. Hello everyone, Jeff Meyer, Michele Rain, Star One Realty Group.
Today on The American Dream, we want to showcase a gem in Pasco County, Florida, downtown Newport Richey. This town holds a special place in my heart, as this is where I grew up and where I chose to raise my family. Nobody knows Newport Richey like the Star One team. Whether cruising down the Pipla-Chescody River, shopping downtown, or bringing the family to one of the festivals, Newport Richey's got something for you. What's amazing about West Pasco is location, location, location. Located 40 minutes from downtown Tampa and the Tampa International Airport.
Up next, Michele and I are going to visit the oldest restaurant in Newport Richey. We're here today at the Leaning Tower Pizza in beautiful Newport Richey, Florida with our good friend Carl.
How you doing?
How long have you been in business?
Going on 43 years.
43 years is a long time. I heard a rumor, tell me if this is true or not, that they actually named a day for you?
Yes, February 16th is our name day for PASCO County.
Wow, February the 16th.
Yes.
Carl, about how many pizzas a day do you make?
150 to 200.
Ooh, that's a lot of
A
pizza.
lot of pizza.
What's your favorite pizza?
Pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni's the best. What, Carl, do you like the best about Newport Richey?
Well, it's a good community, growing town, has a lot of features now, the park, and the community's getting together, and it's going to be a great, great community.
Great. Well, I hear the pizza's on its way. Ooh, another good-looking pepperoni pizza. Let's have a toast.
Salute.
Thank you, Carl, for inviting us over today.
Thank you for coming.
Very much.
Featured home of the month. Here we have 6245 Bellingham Court, located in Newport Richey, Florida. We have a home that has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, sitting on just about 1.08 acres. This home has a huge pool area and a wood-burning fireplace. But the best part about this home is that it has an in-law suite with its own private bedroom and bathroom, a living room, its own private porch, and even a laundry closet. So make sure and come and see this home today.
Thank you for joining us on today's adventure. Stay tuned for next month's favorite places on the American Dream. Hi everyone, I'm sitting poolside with my favorite realtor and partner, Jeff Meyer from Star One Realty. So how you doing today, Jeff?
I am doing fantastic on this sunny day, Michelle.
I just think it's a good idea that everyone gets to know us and see what we're all about. So Jeff, let's get started. How'd you get into real estate?
About 20 years ago, Deb and I, my wife, we moved here to beautiful Florida. We moved to Newport Richey. Got into it, was with a company called Keller Williams at the time. And I got started by walking the neighborhoods and just tossing a little flyer, a little 4-page flyer up on the driveway, which I worked every day. I worked open houses Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until no one came. And in 2 weeks, I sold that house for almost full price. And I actually had the buyer for the house, so the seller saved a little bit on commissions.
And then Jeff, just a little bit ago, was telling me a funny story about how when he, how he started doing his marketing in the beginning was walking the neighborhoods, and he was new here. So why don't you tell us that funny story that you're telling me about when you used to walk the neighborhoods?
Okay, well, I would drive my car, and I had a bag of papers that I had rolled up the night before. And I got out of the car, parked the car in the street, got out of the car and just started walking. I turned left here and right there and left here. And I ran out of papers out of the bag. And I said, well, I got to go back and get some more. Then I realized I didn't know where I had parked my car. I'd actually lost my car.
Didn't you have a cell phone at that time?
No cell phone, none of those fancy gadgets like today. But I figured out that just like in, Hansel and Gretel, I followed the papers back to the car. Got another batch of papers and then again walked the neighborhood, and the little lady called me up and said, Jeff, can you help me? Can you sell my house? And
Right.
just like,
So then, time passes, and then
Yes.
how did I come into this picture?
well, after about, my wife was the den leader for Boy Scouts, and Michelle's husband, Bruce, was the den leader. And our sons both were in kindergarten in the same classroom. And one day Bruce had said to Deb that his wife, Michelle, was thinking about quitting teaching and wanted to get into real estate. Would Jeff be interested in talking to her? And I said, sure, I'll come to Boy Scouts that night and we'll have a little chat and see what happens.
Right, so on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, I get my license, and I called up Jeff and I said, I got my license, I'm ready to go. And he said, come on over to the office and we'll talk and we'll get you started. And so he and my son, my son Logan and I, we went over with my box, and I've got everything, I'm ready to go. And I got my desk and all. Like, can I just go with you and watch what you do, so that way I can learn how to do it and be a good realtor like I thought? And what did you say to me?
I said, you can go along, but you're not allowed to talk. So we would be in the car and we drove up to the first listing appointment. I remember this like it was yesterday.
Me too.
And we walked in and we sat down at the table. We walked through the house and we sat down at the table and we'd had all the numbers and we run over the comparables and we're filling in the paperwork, and Michelle was helping filling in some of the paperwork, and we got the house listed. And the lady said, Michelle, you haven't said hardly anything at all during this meeting. What?
And anyone who knows me knows that is like, that was a lot.
That
for
was
me
a
to
lot
not
for
talk
her not
is,
talk.
Like right now, it's just killing me, but you know.
Anyway, so tell them what happened.
So anyway, so she says, you know, that she wants to buy a house. And so basically I just kind of created my own job where I would every morning get up, come up to the office, and Jeff and I would jump in the car and we would go to the listings, and then if they wanted to buy a house, then that's what I would do. And you know, that's all I did all day was just sit there quietly, fill in the matrix.
For about 2 weeks.
And then
that was a fast 2
right.
weeks.
And then, you know, that would be it. And the funnest thing about, the funnest, that's not good, but the most fun thing was that all day long we drove around and we would listen to the music all the time, but he knew all the sitcoms little jingles. And so, you know, we would sing Gilligan's Island and what any of them that we would do, and then we would sing the music, and it was, you know, we just had fun. And my favorite thing was, you know, we would go out to lunch every day because I was a school teacher, so you know, you only had the cafeteria as your option. But we went out to lunch somewhere every day, and we did that, you know, until here recently because we're just, you know, so busy now, and I'm in the office. But anyways, you know, it was fun every day. I have the best job ever. That, you know, it's just, you know, we just have a lot of fun.
What partner can you have that wouldn't like to drive around all day in a Cadillac, go to lunch, stop at 7-Eleven and get nice cold drinks, get a snack, and go on appointments, list a lovely couple's house, help them sell the house so they can move, and then a lot of them buy a new house with us. Who wouldn't love that job?
Yeah. And we want everyone to get to know us. Some people, you know, they're not quite sure who we are, so we think we're going to let you, you know, have a window into what we do. And we, you know, marketing is Jeff's gig, and we've done some crazy things, fun things over the time, and we're going to share those stories with you guys. And you know, we look forward to this time, and it's, you know, we have the opportunity to do this.
It's basically our team consists of Michelle's family with me in it. It's the wackiest thing, but we have a lot of fun. We've been doing it for 18 years, about 150 a year we average.
Yep.
A lot, and most of them, I'm going to be honest with you, we get calls every day from past clients recommending us to other people, and those are the best people in the world to work for.
And
we
it's
love
the biggest compliment is that, you know, having somebody refer us. And as far as, you know, being in the Suncoast News, we advertise on Bay News 9. And the flyer that Jeff used to walk door to door several years ago, he started putting this beautiful paper together, and it got delivered through the Tampa Times. Now we have 88,000 people who get the Suncoast. So his walking days are over, but his flyer days are still in full gear.
One of the benefits, it doesn't benefit us as much as it directly benefits our sellers, because a lot of our buyers, a lot of them see that house and call us up. And naturally, you know, from knowing us for the 20 years, if we have the buyer for your home, your commission's only 3%. And that saves a lot of people a lot of money.
Yes, it really does.
It does.
So until next week, this is Michelle.
Wait a minute. I want to say something.
What do you want to say?
And don't forget, if you're not happy at any time,
oh, this is his favorite.
Not happy, you can fire us because you're in control.
So this is Michelle Rame and
Jeff Meyer, your favorite realtor.
And you guys are rocking with us. Oh, wow, that was crazy.
That was wacky.
What are we doing?
You messed that up a little bit.
I know. We're rocking Florida real estate.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next
later.
week. called On the Road. And today we're going to be talking with Carolyn Cars, who owns Care Title. We've been doing business with Carolyn probably, oh my gosh, 10, 12, 14 years. Last year she closed about 100, 120 homes for us here. We're going to ask Carolyn a couple questions real quick. Carolyn, why don't you introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hello, I'm Carolyn Cars. I am the owner and manager of Care Title here in Tarpon Springs. We've been here since 2002, although I've been in title and a real estate attorney for, I will date myself, but probably 30 years now.
Okay. We know Carolyn because all of our sons played hockey together back in the day. Anyway, Carolyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about why a seller needs a title company to do their closing?
Certainly. The last thing that a buyer wants is to pay good money for a property and turn around a week or a month or a year later and find out that A, somebody is claiming an interest in that property, or B, there is a mortgage on the property that was never satisfied, or a lien or a judgment that was never paid, or taxes, property taxes that were never paid. And the county is looking for that. So you really need to do some research and find a good title company and make sure that the title is cleared properly at closing.
Okay. So it's a very smooth transaction.
That's our goal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm with my husband Bruce, and we are rocking Florida real estate here. And this segment we're going to talk about all the concerts we go to. And Bruce, who are we featuring this week?
So this week we're featuring Cheep Trick. That was our first concert on our Whirlwind tour this year. It was back in January, and we went down to Miami's casino, Magic City Casino.
Alrighty. And did we have pretty good seats or what?
We had great seats. We were 6 rows, front and center. I was sporting an eye patch. I think I scared Robin Zander a few times, but it was cold and rainy night. It was outside. It was out on their old dog track, but they did give us ponchos, so we had that going for us.
Yep. So we sat with the ponchos and hunkered down under those ponchos, and but we still had a really good time. So what can you tell us about Cheep Trick?
Well, by the time the concert started, we were exhausted. Well, Michelle was. She drove. It was about 6 hours getting there and 6 hours getting home. We got home about 5 a.m., but it was awesome. They performed. I couldn't believe it. Rick Nielsen, I think, is 72, and Robin Zander's in his late 60s. And you would think there were 2 kids up there still performing.
Yes, they did. They were jumping around, and our favorite part was when they were throwing the picks.
The guitar picks, and they flipped a few albums like they were Frisbees. Almost got one.
Right, and the drummer was just crazy good. And I thought that was, really special there. So, do you have any trivia for us this week?
I've got trivia galore. So
get ready, folks.
I got 3 trivia questions tonight. The first is a 2-parter. So
I don't have to know the answers.
No, you don't need
good.
to know. But
Right.
you should know. I quiz you enough.
I know.
So, in a great 80s hit, you're going to have to tell me the name of the movie and the character in the movie who made this quote. It was, can you honestly tell me you forgot? You forgot the magnetism of Robin Zander and the charisma of Rick Nielsen? So that's questions 1 and 2. What teen movie, awesome movie of the 80s, was it? We saw it firsthand live back at the theaters of Countryside, which is now a gym. And also, what character in the movie made those quotes?
I do not have a clue. Yeah, usually I have a little bit of a clue, especially as far as movies. So, how long has Cheep Trick been around?
Cheep Trick, another Illinois band. We're finding, of course, Chicago, REO. Cheep Trick formed up in Rockford, Illinois back in '73. So, you know, they're pushing their 50 years here pretty quick too. And I got probably one of their best albums that put them on the map, Cheep Trick Live at Budokan. I actually have a couple copies of this album, and I'm sure a cassette and CDs.
Now, earlier today, Jeff was asking, did they play that Budokan one? And
they played a lot of the songs there. Some of the best ones they played was Surrender, I Want You to Want Me, The Dream Police, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. That was also in the movie. And Ain't That a Shame were four of the big ones they played, and they went about an hour and 40 minutes, and you knew the words to every song.
It was just a great concert, and I think that they're going to be coming back up here. To Tampa.
We get a redo in October. They're going to be out at the Amphitheater out by the fairgrounds with ZZ Top. So we're going to get a redo on Cheep Trick and also ZZ Top. And if you're ever, now I'm not sure he's still there, but several years ago, if you're ever in Safety Harbor, where the big spa is around here, always look for Robin Zander. He's got a place there, and he's out and about day and night down there. So
I'm going to go down there because I love going to Safety Harbor Spa. It's like one of my favorite places.
And you can't miss Xander with the long blonde hair still. So.
And somebody was telling me their kid went to school with his kid.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. So they took the trip down to Miami like we did to put that concert on, and we're definitely going to be seeing that concert coming to Tampa. So anything else? Or
yep, I got a third trivia question.
Oh, a third.
So Cheep Trick performed the theme song for a late 90s, early 2000s television show. And not a lot of people know they did it, so I'll let you think about it. But I'll give you one clue. At the end, one of the main characters yelled, "I love you, Wisconsin!"
Oh, I think I do know that one.
Answers are, of course,
number one,
Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
versus
Spicoli, I'm beating my head with the shoe. And
that's right.
The character who made the quote was Damone, the most hated character in the show.
Was he really hated?
No, he was.
Yes, he was.
He was a bit of a...
I liked Mr. Hand. He was really
Mr.
funny.
Hand was great, but Damone was kind of a prick, as was painted on his car and locker.
My favorite part was when the pizza was delivered.
Yeah.
That was funny.
We were talking about that at work today, how Mr. Hand, it wasn't his time. Spicoli said it was our time. And usually...
And what's the answer to number two?
So number two was Damone. Number three,
sorry,
this theme song that Cheep Trick did was for that 70s show.
Okay. Well, folks, thanks so much for joining us during our favorite time of talking about rock bands and trivia questions. And we will see you next time. Where are we going next time, Bruce?
Next time, we are heading up to Ocala, the Villages, and trying to avoid all their golf carts. And we're going to see REO Speedwagon, front and center again, third row center, and so close you feel like you're on stage.
Well, I can't wait for that. So we'll see you later. This is Bruce and Michele, Rockin' Florida Real Estate. See you later, folks.
We're all set. Here's a copy of everything that you signed here today. You can keep that with your records. And of course, your check. Okay.
Today from Honeybee Lane. We just closed on their house. You guys want to tell us how it went? How did the listing card go?
The listing was absolutely awesome. I had the best people you could possibly have from Star One. They literally sold my house within one day, less than one day. It was 4 hours. They posted it on a Saturday at 3 o'clock. The first people that came to see it on Sunday, full price, asking price, and they bought it.
It was almost too quick. I wasn't ready for that. But I took it.
Okay.
My realtors were excellent with everything. They kept me informed with everything, which is very important. It's like, I can't say enough. I can't.
Okay, and then how did the closing go?
The closing was smooth as a whistle.
Everything was perfect. It was
Perfect.
Awesome.
Couldn't
Y'all
have
did a
been-
great job.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They are phenomenal. I recommend Star One highly. Jeff, Michele, his staff, the pictures, everything. It's like, I would say, you go.
And we had the biggest sold sign in front of our house within hours.
We did.
That's right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get. Did you get that, Michele?